A divine pulse flows through creation, from the smallest atom to the grandest star, weaving existence into an interconnected tapestry. In the midst of human complexity, there lies an ancient truth, one forgotten but never lost. Jesus, with teachings often misunderstood, did not solely preach about external salvation, but an awakening of divine power within each individual. He revealed that the essence of God dwelled within, and to understand this was to access an infinite wellspring of potential, capable of miracles. Humanity, though often distracted by material pursuits, carries a spiritual birthright that transcends worldly boundaries. Genesis spoke of breath, life, and divine connection, symbolism that goes deeper than mere survival. Breath, in this sense, is the animating force of creation, bridging the physical and spiritual worlds. The spark granted to humans at birth is not passive, it is a calling. But over centuries, humankind forgot this calling, slipping into illusions of separation, mistaking external achievements for true fulfillment. Jesus' message, far from being confined to historical texts, reaches beyond time to those who listen carefully today. To truly follow this teaching is not to idolize, but to embody it. The body, often perceived as a vessel, houses profound secrets. Hidden within is the pineal gland, a biological enigma that mystics revered for its connection to higher realms of awareness. Some consider it the seat of the soul, an access point to Christ consciousness. At dawn, during the mystical hours known as Brahma Muhurta, the veil between dimensions thins. Here, meditation becomes a gateway where the mind is still and divine insight can be received. This state transcends ordinary understanding. It is a communion with the sacred, activating dormant potential. The pineal gland, once dismissed as insignificant, pulses with a rhythm attuned to cosmic forces. By nurturing this center through inner stillness, individuals can reawaken what has long been dormant. This awakening begins with awareness. Awareness of thoughts, habits, and intentions becomes the foundation for spiritual development. Self-reflection illuminates the hidden motives that steer human behavior. Through reflection, one confronts the shadow aspects of self, those buried fears and desires that act as barriers to enlightenment. But even the shadow, when understood, can serve as a guide. The ego, persistent and persuasive, often entangles people in loops of suffering. But Jesus hinted at something beyond ego: surrender. Surrender does not mean weakness, but liberation from attachments. It is the act of opening oneself to a higher will. In surrendering, the soul ceases its struggle and begins to flow in harmony with the universe's grand design. Resistance is replaced with trust, doubt with faith. The act of letting go reveals truths that control cannot. Compassion plays an integral role in this process, not as a passive emotion, but as an active force that dissolves barriers between individuals and the collective. When one views others through the lens of compassion, judgment falls away, and unity is restored. This unity is not theoretical, but experiential. And knowing that the separation perceived by the mind is an illusion. Every act of kindness, forgiveness, or empathy strengthens this realization. However, the path to awakening is not devoid of challenges. Tests arise not as punishments, but as catalysts for growth. Struggles refine the soul, like fire purifying gold. Many stumble because they view hardships as signs of failure instead of opportunities for transformation. The mystic understands that darkness is not the opposite of light, but its cradle. From within the depths of despair, wisdom emerges. It is here that divine guidance, though subtle, becomes a beacon. Listening becomes essential. But this listening is different from hearing external voices. It involves tuning into the whisper of intuition, the soul's language. Intuition often bypasses logic and speaks directly to the heart, guiding decisions that align with a higher purpose. Discerning this voice amidst the noise of daily life requires practice, trust, and patience. The modern world, though advanced in technology, has distanced itself from these inner teachings. Yet, the spiritual hunger remains, manifesting as anxiety, dissatisfaction, and the constant search for meaning. People chase external solutions, unaware that what they seek resides within. Jesus, through parables and metaphors, offered keys to unlock this inner treasure. But the keys are only useful when used. Faith without action stagnates, just as knowledge without application withers. As individuals cultivate awareness, surrender, compassion, and discernment, a shift begins. This shift is both internal and external, affecting not only personal reality, but collective consciousness. Small acts ripple outward, influencing environments and relationships. The transformation experienced within radiates into the world, creating waves of change. Ultimately, the spiritual path is a return to origin, not in a linear sense, but in a spiral journey that expands understanding with each turn. Along the way, the traveler sheds illusions one by one until only truth remains. This truth is not intellectual, it is experiential. It is the moment when one feels the oneness that connects all things and understands that the search was never for something external, but for the realization of what has always been present. The veil of wisdom guides those willing to embark on this journey, reminding them that the answers they seek are not found in distant places, but within the sacred chambers of their being. To peel back the layers is to embrace divine potential, to awaken from the dream of separation, and to step into the reality of unity and infinite possibility. The soul's journey is a profound exploration through countless lifetimes, lessons, and layers of understanding. Birth is not merely the start of physical life, but a return, a continuation of a much older story. Each incarnation is chosen with purpose, aligned with the growth the soul seeks. Within the human form, memories of past lives are veiled, not to punish or withhold, but to allow focused growth on present lessons. The mind, when free from the weight of past regrets or triumphs, experiences life authentically, diving deeply into the now. Though some may perceive forgetting as a loss, it is a tool of mercy. Imagine recalling every heartbreak, betrayal, or failure from countless lifetimes. The emotional weight would be unbearable. The veil of wisdom exists to guide those willing to transcend this amnesia through spiritual awakening, not by remembering specific events, but by rediscovering the soul's core lessons: love, resilience, forgiveness, and understanding. They are the threads woven through time, resurfacing life after life until fully grasped. The ego often complicates this process. In its quest for survival, it attaches to external identities, titles, and achievements, believing them to be markers of success. But the soul's definition of success is vastly different. It lies in how one overcomes challenges, grows through adversity, and expresses kindness. Life's external achievements, though satisfying, are temporary. What endures is the wisdom gained from the experiences leading to those achievements. A common misconception is that spiritual growth requires withdrawal from worldly affairs. Yet many great masters, including Jesus, demonstrated otherwise. Engaging with the world provides fertile ground for growth. Every interaction, whether joyful or painful, presents an opportunity to refine the soul. In forgiving those who hurt you, you heal wounds from past lives. In showing compassion to strangers, you balance karma accumulated across dimensions. One of the greatest hurdles is the illusion of control. Humans often believe they can dictate every outcome, meticulously planning and striving. When plans crumble, they feel despair, interpreting failure as punishment. But the universe operates on divine timing and purpose, weaving together threads of destiny unseen by the limited human perspective. When individuals embrace surrender, trusting the universe even amid chaos, they open themselves to grace. What initially appears as a setback may reveal itself as the most profound blessing. Meditation becomes an invaluable tool in this process. Sitting in stillness allows the mind to detach from distractions, entering realms where wisdom flows freely. Insights gained in meditation often bypass logic, emerging as sudden clarity or profound peace. In this state, the ego's grip loosens, and the soul's voice grows stronger. Many seekers describe moments of intuitive knowing, where answers to life's pressing questions arise effortlessly. Synchronistic events often follow spiritual breakthroughs. Some dismiss them as coincidence, but they are signals from the universe, affirming alignment with higher purpose. These signs, whether subtle or grand, remind individuals they are not navigating life alone. Guides, both seen and unseen, accompany the journey, offering assistance when sought. Prayers, when offered sincerely, create energetic pathways through which divine intervention manifests. But prayer is not merely asking for solutions. It is communion with the divine, a bridge between the individual and the universal consciousness. Through prayer, one aligns their intentions with the collective good, transcending selfish desires. Gratitude plays a pivotal role here. By expressing gratitude for blessings, even those not yet received, individuals shift their vibration. This positive energy ripples outward, attracting more experiences to be grateful for. The path of awakening is seldom linear. There are periods of rapid progress and moments of stagnation. During stagnation, many lose hope, believing they have strayed too far to return. But the soul is never lost, only temporarily obscured. Obstacles serve as reminders to recalibrate, reflect, and reignite commitment. In truth, every perceived failure is a step forward, a necessary experience that deepens understanding. The veil of wisdom encourages its audience to view life as a sacred adventure rather than a burdensome obligation. When approached with curiosity and reverence, even mundane tasks reveal hidden lessons. Washing dishes can become a meditation on mindfulness. Listening to a child's laughter can ignite forgotten joy. The ordinary transforms into the extraordinary when seen through the lens of spiritual awareness. As the soul moves deeper into its spiritual journey, it begins to discern the difference between genuine intuition and the chatter of the mind. At first, this can be challenging, as the ego often masquerades as the inner voice, pushing desires disguised as needs. But with practice, the distinction becomes clear. True intuition feels gentle, persistent, and non-judgmental, like a whisper from within that doesn't demand immediate action but lingers until noticed. Unlike impulsive thoughts, which often leave behind doubt or regret, intuitive guidance brings clarity and calm. In the chaos of modern life, many lose touch with this internal compass, Constant external stimulation, from social media, work pressures, and societal expectations, creates noise that drowns out the soul's quiet wisdom. To reconnect, individuals must intentionally carve moments of stillness. Simple acts, like watching the sunrise, walking barefoot on grass, or sitting in silent meditation, help quiet the mind and open the heart. Nature, in its stillness, becomes a mirror reflecting the soul's truth. As awareness deepens, people start to notice the recurring lessons in their lives. These patterns, often dismissed as mere coincidences, are life's way of presenting unresolved lessons. A person who frequently encounters betrayal, for instance, may need to address trust or boundaries. Ignoring such patterns only ensures their repetition, but embracing them initiates healing. The soul recognizes its own wisdom once the lesson is fully absorbed, freeing the individual from repeating the cycle. Dreams also play a significant role in this awakening process. Though often dismissed as meaningless, dreams carry symbolic messages from the subconscious. In some cases, they offer glimpses of past lives or parallel dimensions. By keeping a dream journal and reflecting on recurring symbols, individuals can uncover hidden aspects of themselves. The subconscious, free from the constraints of the logical mind, often reveals truths the conscious mind overlooks. The concept of duality, light and dark, joy and pain, success and failure, is central to the soul's evolution. Without experiencing contrast, growth stagnates. Darkness teaches resilience, just as light brings hope. Rather than fearing difficult times, spiritually awakened individuals learn to embrace them, understanding they are temporary and necessary. Even in despair, there are lessons in perseverance, surrender, and renewal. The universe never presents challenges beyond one's capacity to endure, though this truth is often realized only in hindsight. Spiritual teachers often emphasize detachment, not to suggest apathy, but to encourage freedom from excessive attachment to outcomes. When deeply attached to specific results, people limit the universe's ability to deliver something even greater. Detachment doesn't mean giving up ambition, but approaching desires with trust. If something doesn't manifest as expected, it's often because a higher plan is in motion. Accepting this allows peace to replace frustration. This surrender to the divine plan is not about passivity. It's about aligned action, taking steps in faith while remaining open to the unexpected. Those who resist life's flow often encounter obstacles, while those who adapt discover opportunities. Like water finding its way around rocks, adaptability ensures forward movement. Even perceived failures can be blessings, redirecting people toward paths they would not have chosen, but which ultimately fulfill their soul's purpose. Relationships, too, become pivotal in spiritual growth. Whether with family, friends, or romantic partners, relationships act as mirrors, reflecting back unresolved aspects of the self. Conflicts often arise when individuals project their inner wounds onto others. Recognizing this, spiritually awakened people take responsibility for their emotional reactions instead of blaming others. Through forgiveness and understanding, they transform relationships into sacred spaces for healing and growth. The veil of wisdom continuously guides seekers through these realizations, reminding them that they are not alone. Every soul, no matter how lost it feels, carries within it the light of divine wisdom. Awakening is not a destination, but an ongoing journey. With each revelation, new questions arise, leading to deeper exploration. There is no final enlightenment, only continuous expansion. When the soul fully embraces its role as both student and teacher, life's struggles cease to feel burdensome. Instead, they become exercises in mastery. The soul understands that its challenges are handpicked by a higher consciousness, perfectly designed to cultivate its growth. This perspective eliminates the need for comparison, as each person's journey is uniquely crafted. Comparing one's path to another's becomes irrelevant, as the only competition is with the self. The idea of karma is often misunderstood as punishment or reward. In truth, karma is a balancing mechanism. It ensures that every action, thought, and intention sends ripples through the cosmos, eventually returning to its source. Those who sow seeds of love and kindness reap their benefits, just as those who spread harm face its consequences. But karma is not fixed. It can be transcended through awareness and intentional change. When one consciously chooses forgiveness and compassion, they break the cycle, creating a new energetic reality. Time, as understood by the human mind, is an illusion. The past, present, and future exist simultaneously, though perceived linearly. This understanding allows individuals to heal past wounds without reliving them. By shifting their energy in the present, they alter the trajectory of their future. This is the essence of manifestation, not controlling outcomes, but aligning vibrationally with one's desired reality. The soul's journey is also marked by phases of solitude and community. Periods of solitude provide space for reflection, while time spent in community offers support and shared learning. Finding balance between the two is crucial, as excessive isolation can lead to stagnation and constant interaction can cause distraction. When harmonized, solitude and community create a rhythm that nurtures growth. For those seeking enlightenment, patience becomes a virtue. Impatience often arises from the ego's desire for quick fixes and immediate gratification. But spiritual growth is a slow, deliberate process. Like a seed buried in the soil, progress is often invisible until it breaks through the surface. Trusting this process requires faith in unseen forces working behind the scenes. The veil of wisdom highlights that life's greatest transformations occur not in grand moments of revelation, but in small, consistent acts of awareness. Choosing kindness over anger, understanding over judgment, and love over fear creates ripples that extend far beyond immediate perception. In this way, the awakened soul becomes a beacon, subtly influencing the world without seeking recognition. Their light inspires others to embark on their own journeys, perpetuating a cycle of collective awakening. As individuals awaken, they realize they are creators, not victims of circumstance. Thoughts, words, and actions shape reality. This is the power of manifestation, not in a superficial sense of wishful thinking, but as an intentional collaboration with universal forces. Aligning thoughts with positive, purposeful action yields results. Neglecting this truth often leads to cycles of suffering, as unexamined negative patterns manifest undesired outcomes. Forgiveness, though difficult, remains a cornerstone of liberation. Holding on to resentment anchors the soul to the past, preventing forward movement. In forgiving others, individuals free themselves more than those they forgive. Forgiveness does not excuse wrongdoing, but acknowledges that clinging to pain perpetuates it. The act of letting go is an act of self-love, a declaration that one's peace matters more than reliving harm. As the soul progresses, it begins to see connections, how one event led to another, how pain taught empathy, how loss unveiled strength. What once seemed chaotic appears intricately designed, as though life were a symphony where each note, whether soft or harsh, contributes to a masterpiece. Those who awaken to this understanding approach life with grace, less concerned with outcomes and more focused on the journey itself. They walk lightly, knowing that everything they experience is temporary yet meaningful. The veil of wisdom's purpose is to remind seekers of this truth. Life is fleeting, yet eternal. Within this paradox lies the key to peace. Once understood, individuals can navigate life's complexities without losing themselves in them. They become like the lotus, rooted in muddy waters, yet blooming pure and radiant above them. In the realm of awakening, every choice becomes an invitation to expand consciousness. The soul, having experienced countless incarnations, carries within it a reservoir of wisdom accumulated over lifetimes. But even with this wisdom, doubt often clouds the mind. Doubt is not an enemy. It's a teacher disguised in uncertainty. The moments of doubt often precede the most profound revelations. When one faces their doubts without avoidance, they uncover truths that are buried beneath layers of fear and hesitation. As the veil between the seen and unseen begins to thin, individuals may experience synchronicities that are difficult to dismiss as mere chance. Numbers repeating, strangers delivering messages at precisely the right moment, or dreams aligning with waking events. These are reminders from the universe that the path is guided. However, the mind often attempts to rationalize such occurrences, dismissing them as coincidences. But when the heart is attuned, even the smallest signs are acknowledged as part of a grander design. The veil of wisdom guides seekers to see beyond the surface of reality. People often judge experiences as good or bad, but from the soul's perspective, every experience is neutral until given meaning. Painful events are not punishments but opportunities for transformation. The suffering they bring is temporary, but the lessons they impart are eternal. Those who resist suffering only prolong it, while those who surrender to it gain wisdom that transcends the immediate pain. There is a sacred power in vulnerability. Society often teaches individuals to shield their emotions, equating vulnerability with weakness. But in spiritual awakening, vulnerability is strength. When one is willing to be open, they allow themselves to heal. Releasing tears, admitting fears, and confronting inner demons are acts of bravery that pave the way for liberation. The soul cannot heal what it refuses to feel. Hence, embracing vulnerability is a vital step in the process of awakening. As the journey progresses, seekers encounter what many describe as the dark night of the soul. This is a phase where everything familiar seems to collapse. Beliefs, relationships, and even one's sense of identity are stripped away, leaving the individual feeling lost and empty. But this darkness is not a sign of failure. It is a rite of passage. Just as seeds grow in the darkness of the soil, the soul expands in the depths of its darkest moments. The veil of wisdom reminds us that the dark night is temporary, and on the other side lies a version of the self that is stronger, wiser, and more aligned. Throughout history, sages and mystics have emphasized the importance of inner silence. In silence, the soul speaks. Meditation, whether formal or through simple mindful practices, becomes a doorway to this silence. In the beginning, the mind resists, bombarding the seeker with thoughts, distractions, and restlessness. But persistence reveals the mind's nature. It is not the enemy, but a tool to be mastered. The moment one stops fighting their thoughts and instead observes them, a shift occurs. The observer emerges, detached from the drama of the mind, and the soul begins to guide. Dreams, visions, and meditative experiences often bring forth symbols that the rational mind struggles to interpret. These symbols are the language of the soul, rich with meaning, but requiring intuition to decode. A recurring symbol of water, for example, may represent emotional cleansing or spiritual renewal. Fire might signify transformation or destruction of the old. Trusting the interpretation that resonates within, rather than seeking external validation, is key. The veil of wisdom highlights that each individual's symbols are deeply personal and must be honored as such. As the connection to the higher self strengthens, desires shift. Material pursuits that once seemed important begin to lose their grip. This does not mean one must abandon the physical world or reject success. Instead, the soul begins to see these desires as tools for growth rather than ends in themselves. Wealth, power, and recognition are neutral. They can be used for service or selfishness. The awakened individual seeks balance, understanding that abundance in the physical realm can coexist with spiritual integrity. Gratitude becomes a natural state of being, not the forced gratitude of polite manners, but genuine, heartfelt appreciation for life's experiences. The ability to find gratitude in both blessings and challenges signifies true spiritual maturity. When one is grateful for struggles, they transform into blessings. The veil of wisdom teaches that gratitude elevates one's vibration, attracting more reasons to be grateful. It's a cycle of positivity that feeds itself. One of the most profound lessons on the path is the realization that forgiveness is not for the benefit of the other, but for the liberation of the self. And in holding on to resentment chains the soul to the very pain it seeks to escape. Forgiveness does not condone wrongdoing, but releases its grip on the present. By forgiving, the soul reclaims its power, no longer allowing past events to dictate its future. In moments of reflection, seekers may question the purpose of their journey. What is the end goal of spiritual awakening? The answer, though simple, is often elusive. The journey itself is the goal. The destination is not a final state of perfection, but an ongoing dance between growth and rest, between knowing and unknowing. Each step, whether forward or backward, contributes to the soul's expansion. Relationships with others also evolve. What once may have been transactional or conditional becomes rooted in authenticity. Love, in its purest form, emerges when one is no longer seeking to complete themselves through others. Instead, love becomes an act of giving without expectation. The veil of wisdom emphasizes that the love one gives freely is the love that returns magnified. Authentic connections, built on mutual respect and understanding, are the foundation of a fulfilling life. The realization that everyone is a reflection of the self deepens compassion. Judgments fade as one understands that others are merely mirrors, reflecting aspects of the self that need attention. The person who triggers anger or frustration is a teacher in disguise, revealing unhealed wounds. By addressing these emotions internally, the external triggers lose their power. Compassion for others, even those who cause harm, stems from recognizing their struggles as extensions of one's own. As the awakened soul integrates these lessons, a sense of inner peace begins to emerge. This peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to remain centered amid chaos. It is the understanding that life's storms are temporary and that the soul's essence is unshakable. From this place of peace, the soul becomes a beacon for others, not by preaching, but by embodying the wisdom it has gained. The veil of wisdom guides its audience to recognize that enlightenment is not about escaping the world, but engaging with it fully, with awareness and love. The physical realm is not an obstacle, but a playground for the soul's evolution. Through every experience, joyful or painful, the soul remembers its purpose: to expand, to love, and to awaken. And in this remembrance, the veil lifts, revealing the infinite light within.